When it comes to Animal Crossing New Horizons, one of the most important aspects about it is the villagers, the characters that live with you throughout your town. There are about 35 different species of villager, so we're going to be ranking all the species in the game from worst to best. This is my opinion, and I do not have a script for this video, so yeah, you're just going to have to deal with that and also deal with the fact that it's my opinion and could be changed if I feel it's necessary, but it probably won't be. So let's get started at the slightly obvious bottom with the Kangaroos. For the best, I guess I'd go with Kit because her design's slightly more appealing. And the worst is Walt because he looks really cold and weird. Like, he looks like he'd be cold if you touch him. And he just looks very monotone and mean. I know he's a cranky villager, but still. Next up, we have the Anteaters, another species no one likes. Annabelle, I guess she's the best. She's the only one I find to be somewhat cute. And Olaf is... Why does he have to be the only one of the only villagers in the game that they gave pants? Like, they could have given them to, like, Beardo, who has his pubes on display, but... No, they gave him to this weird matador anteater. Next up, we have the mice. There is only one good mouse in Animal Crossing, and that's Rod. He's actually pretty cute. But as for Rizzo, he looks like he just did a crime, and he's about to do one to you. Like, he looks... I don't think words can describe how horrifying he is. Just looking at him should give you an idea of how bad he is, but yeah, Rizzo is horrifying. Next up is the Hippos. Bertha would be the best to me. Like, she's actually pretty cute, even if her teal color is a little bit weird. But as for Hippux, however you pronounce him, he is disgusting. I don't know how else to describe him. He's an unholy abomination. As for gorillas, they share another quality where they only have one villager I consider to be really good at them. That's Boone. I actually really like him. He's very unique. And there's also Hans, who's alright. But those are the only two exceptions to the rule. And the worst is obviously Violet, the most unpopular female villager in the entire game. And do I understand why she's so unpopular? Absolutely. She's terrible. I didn't add a transition here, but next we have the Tigers. Rolf is actually pretty good. I like him. I like his theme. And the worst for me is Bangle. I don't like her color scheme. I don't like her giant eyes. I just don't like her. She's unappealing. Next up is the Lions. The best for me would be Rex. He used to live in my town. He left and moved to someone else's island. I gave him to someone on Nookazon after I got Cube's amiibo card. But, you know, Rex he looks pretty chill and stuff. And, you know, he looks like a nice guy. So if you have him in your town, then that's pretty nice. You know, he looks like a nice guy. Like, he's not amazing. He's only about like a 6 out of 10 by my ranking standards. But he's still decent. In fact, most of the Lions are just around a 5 or 4 for me. It's a rather mediocre species, but Rory, what happened? I want an explanation, Nintendo. Next up, we have the monkeys. Pretty forgettable species. Well, probably the most forgettable out of them all. Deli, you know, Deli's cute. I like him. But Elise, she looks like, she looks like that one aunt that comes to family gatherings that always gives you a giant kiss on the lips. I don't know what else to say. Like, she's got a mole, she's got giant Kylie Jenner lips. She's got a terrible color scheme. Just no. Next up, we have the cows, the second rarest species in Animal Crossing. Out of all the cows, the one that I consider to be the best would have to be Tipper. She's actually really cute. I like Tipper. She's a classic dairy cow. She's just very nice. She looks very cute and stuff, and I like her. But Naomi is... Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. Why? Next is the birds. The best would have to be Jay in my mind. He looks like a nice guy. He's probably the only one out of the birds I consider to be really good. But Jitters looks like he's seen horrible things that nobody should ever see. And another description is that he looks like a crackhead, but I probably got demonetized just for saying that. Sorry, Susan. Next up, we have the alligators, another forgettable species. Dell would be the best of them for me. He's very unique with how he's a battleship and stuff. And Allie would be the worst. Like, I don't like the lips. I don't like... She's just unappealing. Next up, another forgettable species. The bulls. Stu, in my mind, would have to be the best. Like, he looks nice and chill, even if I don't like how low his mouth is. And for the worst, it would have to be T-Bone. He's T-Bone, and I hate it. Bears are the next one on this list, and they're fine, I guess. For the best one, I'd actually go with Megan. Megan is shockingly underrated. Like, I know she's new. New Horizons was the first game in the series she got featured in, but not many people give her the recognition she kind of deserves. Like, she's actually pretty cute. But Klaus, I have a friend, Bradley. He used to have Klaus on his old island. He made a new one because he didn't like the way his was going, and he said he hated Klaus. I keep saying Claus, and I don't blame him. He's very weird. I don't like his blonde hair. I don't like his color scheme. It's just no. Next up, we have the goats. Sherb is definitely the goat out of them. He is so adorable, and the worst of them would be Velma. I used to have Velma in my island, and I thought I wouldn't mind her, but eventually I decided, your time has come. I have Anka's amiibo card. Bye-bye. And I don't regret that choice to this day, because A, it's Anka that I replaced her with, and B, I don't like Velma. Next we have the pigs. The best would be Hugh in my mind. I like his color scheme. I like the thing going on with his eyes. It's very unique. But when it comes to the worst, Truffles. Oh God. It's like what's a good comparison? I guess some movie studios like Sony Animation or Disney. Their highest highs are pretty good for the most part. Wait, no. Hugh isn't one of the best. He's only around an 8 out of 10 for me. But their lowest lows can be absolute garbage. I guess that's the best comparison I can think of. I don't know, okay? Next we have the chickens. Ken would be the best for me. I like his ninja aesthetic. I like his darker colors. It's very good. And I guess Profina would be the worst. Profinia, I'm not really a fan of her. Like, yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan of her. Next, we have the frogs. Henry is shockingly underrated, considering how cute he is. And Jambette is surprisingly rated in her hate, because if it weren't for those stupid Kylie Jenner lips, she would actually be tolerable for me. Next is the hamsters, where we have the best is also underrated. It's Hamlet. I mean, why do people not give him recognition? He's a cute little hamster boy. And for the worst, he gets the recognition for being hated, and I don't blame people that hate him. It's Rodney. I do not like Rodney. He's terrible. Rhinos. All right. Hornsby would be the best rhino for me. He's very, very cute. I really like him, especially his color scheme, because I like the color blue. Even though it's not my favorite color. My favorite color is red. But Renee, I don't like that eye. If it weren't for the eye, then the rhino species would probably be higher. But aside from that, Renee's fine. Her color scheme is decent, so that's good. Next, we have horses. for the best and the worst, I used to have both of them on my island. Julian still lives there, though, and he's the best. I love the fact that he's a unicorn, and I actually have Julian on my island, and he sings a lot, and I love it when he sings. It's adorable. And the worst is Buck. Do I need to say anything about Buck? He's vomit green. He has these giant cream-colored circles around his eyes. He has these angry eyebrows, and if you remove the eyebrows, it'd still be bad, because, like, he still has those white circles that aren't his eyes, but makes it look like he's looking down all the time, makes it look like he's drunk. I hate him. He's a nightmare. Sheep are the next one on the list, and believe it or not, Dom is not my favorite. I like him, but he's not the best for me. That would be Willow. I used to not really like her all that much, but I realized I was harsh on her. Now she's my favorite sheep. How the turntables. Like, she's really cute. I like her little pouty face. I think it's adorable, and I love her color scheme, too. As for the worst sheep, it's another snooty sheep. It's Cashmere. Another character that has vomit green in their color palette. Just, no thank you. The Cubs are next up, and they have one of the highest highs and one of the lowest lows. Maple is obviously the best. Like, look at her. How could you not love her? She's so freaking adorable. I actually know someone on Instagram who made a humanized Maple, and it's almost as cute as the Maple we have here. But as for the worst cub, in my mind, it would obviously be Barreled. I mean, what is there to say? He's barreled. Although I've actually been online searching for ugly Animal Crossing characters, and I came across this one list of characters where, they were all considered ugly, and Cube was ranked above Barreled. We'll get to Cube eventually, though. 13 is the Ducks. We have another underrated character for the best. It's Scoot. I really love him. He's a little small ducky boy who likes to work out, and I think he's adorable. But the worst would have to be Freckles in my mind. Like, her eyes are like Anna Taylor-Joy levels of spaced out. Not to diss Anna Taylor-Joy. She's beautiful, but like, her eyes remind me of how spaced out Anna's are, and I just don't like Freckles. Like, if the eyes were closer, then I'd like her, but no. Number 12 is the Rabbits. We have another underrated villager for the best. It's Doc. Why does no one like Doc? He's a cute little nerd. He's the only lazy villager with the education hobby, and I love him. He's a little nerdy boy. I like the fact that he's a little nerd. It's cute. But as for Cole, he looks like he's seen stuff you shouldn't see, and I just don't like him. Am I being racist for saying that? I don't know. Next, we have the Eagles. I used to have both of them on my island. Celia still lives there, and she's the best eagle. Like, she's wonderful. But Frank is the worst eagle because of how bland he is. Like, I guess he's green, and that's nice, but aside from being green, I don't like... He's so boring. Like compared to some of the more well-known villagers, like Raymond, Julian, Bob, Sherb, Judy, he's just there... He's just like... It's like comparing... I don't know, but I can't think of a good comparison because this is unscripted, but still, he sucks. Now we're in the top 10. Alright. Elephants. The best, I would say, is Dizzy. He's also underrated. Like, I don't understand why people don't give him the love he deserves. He's really cute. Look at him. I mentioned my friend Bradley earlier, and Dizzy is his favorite character in the game. And do I blame him for that? No. I love Dizzy. I love that silly boy. And the weakest for me will be Tucker. Bradley used to have Tucker on his old island. Honestly, I don't really like the thing Tucker's got going on. I'm just not a big fan of it. Next up is the octopuses. There's only 3 in the game, making them the rarest species, and I have one of them, Octavian, and he's my favorite octopus. I think his little grumpy face makes him adorable, actually. Is it just me? I don't know. And I love all of the octopuses, but if I had to choose the weakest, I guess I'd go with Zucker. Mainly because I feel it's weird that he's based on a food with octopuses in it. But I still love him. And by the way, there's no correct plural for octopus. You can say octopi or octopuses. It's like cactus. You can say cactuses or cacti. I prefer to say cactuses, though. Next up, we have the koalas. In this one show I'm working on, Dimensional Inanimates, the character Milkshake, since he's Australian, he has a pet koala named Bruce. Bruce's name is based on a character from some other, like a series of books, I think. I don't know, I was just Googling fictional marsupials, and that was one that showed up, so I chose him. But yeah, Bruce is just a little character that shows up like once or twice an episode, just for some cute little koala action. But I'm getting sidetracked. Koalas. The best is Melba in my mind. Like, she's adorable. She's very cute. Sight for sore eyes. Worst, Canberra. She looks angry, and I'm not a big fan of that. Next up, we have the ostriches. The best ostrich. Stupid mouth mispronouncing things. The best ostrich, in my mind, is Sprocket. He was my starter. I have a friend who also had Sprocket as a starter, along with Diva. Yeah, we started with Sprocket and Diva, so that's a nice little coincidence. But Sprocket, he still lives on my island. Diva left, unfortunately. But Sprocket, yeah, I like Sprocket. I like the fact that he's a robot, and believe it or not, on my island, he sings all the time. In fact, he was even singing yesterday, and it's adorable, honestly. I love it when he sings. He, Julian, and Fuchsia are my singers, and I love it. As for the worst ostrich, Julia is pretty darn overrated. I don't like her eyes. She's just unappealing to me. Number 6 is the wolves. This is the best species, which I have none of the characters in it so far. If you're wondering who my favorite wolf is, I will go with Kyle. He's an African painted dog, and I love him. And the weakest wolf to me would be Chief. He's just kind of bland, but he's still good, like a 7 out of 10 good. Most of the wolves are around an 8 or 9 out of 10. So that's nice. But on to number 5, dogs. They have the highest high in my mind. Biscuit. Like, I love him. He's perfect in every way, shape, and form. From his colors to his eyes, which I actually don't mind. Like, I've tried drawing him with pupils, and I feel it's less appealing. So I like his little soul size. And his default shirt. Yeah, people say that they don't like Biscuit for his soulless eyes. Well, then, why don't you say that sort of stuff about, like, Rolled? I don't know, but yeah, on this one ugly Animal Crossing villager thing I mentioned earlier, Biscuit was number 15, and that's already a sin I can't forgive. But anyways, the worst is Marcel. He's disgusting. He's everything wrong with the world. His green color it makes sense because I want to throw up when I see him. I know that some other guy said that sort of stuff, but I don't blame him. Marcel is ugly. Number 4 is the cats. I forgot to mention this at number 5, but I have all the villagers in the species onward, like one of them at least. Anyways, the best is one I have, Anka. I get her popularity. She's really, really good. I love her Egyptian theme. I love her little snake hair piece. I love her pouty expression. I love her. The worst, however, is probably the worst villager in the game in my mind, Tabby. She's a nightmare. But there's only 3 cats I consider to be bad, and the rest are either decent or amazing. So, that's nice. Number 3 is the squirrels. The best is my favorite female villager in the game, and that would be Peanut. Like, she's also the most underrated character in the game to me. Like, sure, Biscuit and Cube don't get too much love, but they get love in some areas. Like, Biscuit was in that one video from Illymation, and Cube was in this other video from some other guy, and he was at the #1 spot in his ranking of all the villagers he had. But Peanut hardly gets any love from the community, which I don't understand whatsoever. Like, look at her. She's adorable. I love her little eyes. I love her uwu mouth. I love her color. It's so cute. But Ricky, he's not all that good. I don't like his mouth, and I don't like his eyes being connected. I don't like him. Number 2, we're nearing the top. So, number 2, the best is Cube, my second favorite villager in the game. I absolutely love Cube in every way, shape, and form. I love that he's an Emperor Penguin. I love his eyes. They actually reference the D-pad on the GameCube controller. I love his reference to the GameCube. I just adore Cube in every way, shape, and form. He is my religion. I pray to him every night, thanking me for the life I have. Cube is love, I say. Cube is life. As for the worst penguin, there's not a whole lot of penguins I don't like, so I went with Wade. It's mainly because I don't like his color scheme. Like, I don't like what's going on with the fading going on. I'm not a fan of that, but other than that, he's eh. And now the best species in Animal Crossing is the deer. I love the deer. There is not a single bad deer to behold. All of them are great in their own ways. Eric is obviously the best. He's my favorite character in the game I don't have, because I already have a deer in my island, Fuchsia, and she's the second best. But Eric is adorable. He's so cute. He's so amazing. I love him so much. And the weakest to me would be Deirdre, mainly because I'm not a fan of her eyes. But aside from that, I still think she's a good enough villager. She's only around like a 7 out of 10 or so. But yeah, I still like her. The deer are amazing. I love them all. They're the only area in the game where there's not a single bad one to behold. Like, there's also wolves, but still, the deer are the best species to me. So, there you have it. My ranking of all the villagers species in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I also put a little tier list here. But, yeah, thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, follow my other social media, which is linked in the description. Join my Discord server. Donate to my PayPal, and I guess I'll see you all next time. Bye and happy holidays.